It is really interesting to watch somebody go through Uranus eighth house transit, because it won't be the entire time that they are struck by lightning, but it will be frequent, unexpected intervals that, and I, by frequent, that could even be once a year, every 18 months, or every few months. It's not predictable. We're unraveling a lot of processes within ourselves and really pulling away from the the fears, the attachments, a lot of what we were previously driven by. This is a very interesting, transformative transit, and it will be in there for about 7 years. So it's a longer period of time that we are just coming to a radically different version of ourselves. So at the beginning of this transit, well, actually, with Uranus crossing the descendant, and then at the end of Uranus coming through the eighth, you cannot recognize us. It is so deeply moving when it comes to the kind of self discoveries that we will make. So a lot of people completely change out of their former belief systems and will completely change their relationships, their relationship patterns over the course of Uranus transiting through the seventh and the eighth. That is a longer period of time, about 14 years, but it is a consistent untethering to what was previously normal to us. So at the end of it, we may be shocked. I mean, some people even change political ideas. They'll change the very meanings that they give to things. Their paradigm can shift so radically during this period of time, because their idea of themselves, a lot of the ego center is just shifted and changed and not so much melted down. It's not a Neptune or Pluto thing. It's more, um, it's like our insight. It just grows bigger and bigger and bigger to encompass more ideas about ourselves and the world. And that insight is something we just can't squeeze it back into the genie bottle. We just cannot do it with Uranus going through these houses. And if we try, that genie will burst that bottle, and there will be hell to pay. There will be shards everywhere. Do not try to cage or tame or stop Uranus. That is never a good idea, because the tensions within ourselves, the tensions around other people, in the people around us, they will become explosive. So there's a great deal of adrenaline, electricity that is flowing through us during a seventh house, eighth house transit. So Saturn, we have to expend some energy. We have to work hard. But with Uranus, it's where we coast, where we skate, where we fly. And it can be unearned leisure. That's where people around us really get upset, and we experience some very difficult karma that can result in isolation, ostracization, lack of friends, lack of connection, because Uranus has an intensely selfish side. And that selfishness comes from that inability to mature during that Capricorn stage, that Saturn stage, to really live up to what it is that we said we were going to do. And oftentimes to abandon contracts and things that we said we were going to do if we come to realize that that was an inappropriate type of responsibility that we took. It depends on, because not every situation is the same. Sometimes we're taking on too much, sometimes we're taking on too little. We have to look at it individually, these issues. So, Uranus is the rewards for self control. Now, if we have not earned those rewards, the people around us do not take kindly to that, because it's the kind of behavior that pisses people off. It's very immature behavior. So we're discovering that kind of stuff about ourselves with Uranus in the eighth house. Where is it that we have a major blind spot about the kind of leisure time that we may not have earned? And if we have difficult aspects from Uranus to the inner planets or to the points, it's going to potentially be a much more painful lesson. We're paying as a planet goes through the eighth house, we're paying. And we can be paying for our selfishness if there's something to pay for.